this so I didn't post last class onto the YouTube channel yet as well, but I will do both. And let me just make sure that is recording. And yeah, okay, great. Well, I hope everyone had a lovely day yesterday in your respective areas. But I don't know about you, but I need to move. I need to move. I need to breathe. I need to do some chi massage. Let's get the calendar or the clock, my timer, trusty timer. Not that I kind of have like a built-in clock anyway. But okay, so let's start with some breathing. One hand on the lower abdomen, the other hand on top. Just look down. Your feet should be about outer hip distance apart. And let's just take a moment, feel your shoulders move down away from your ears, getting a little bit of space between your ears and your shoulders. Feel your knees over your ankles, your hips over your knees, and your shoulders over your hips. So everything is nice and aligned. And actually, most of us are doing either something like this, or we're standing. We're actually almost in a little back bend. So if you tuck your tail, bend your knees slightly, tuck the tailbone down slightly so it creates a little space in the lower back, and then the chin tucks in slightly. Rather than jutting forward, if we tuck the chin in slightly, we get a little more space in the back of the neck, and we're actually a little bit more aligned from the crown of the head, due 20, down through the central line of the body, down through the perineum. And we're a little bit more aligned and leaking energy less. And then we'll start nice, deep abdominal breathing. So inhaling the belly, swell out. You might be still full from yesterday. I think I am. And then to exhale, pull the belly back in towards the spine. So even slow, deep breathing like this gives all of those internal organs a gentle massage, because the diaphragm on that nice inhale, diaphragm descends and very gently squeezes the lower abdominal organs together. And imagine that with each slow inhale, you're also creating space between the thoughts. So if your mind, the movie reel has been going, oftentimes there's some statistic like the same thoughts that we had today, it's like 90% are the same thoughts we had yesterday. So we're on this merry-go-round of repetitive thoughts. So by slowing the breath down intentionally, we're giving our focus, our attention, something very specific to this moment. And it starts to neutralize that merry-go-round. It slows it down. And we get to start giving more space or more attention to the space between the thoughts. And we start to have more, or turn online the observer and the decision maker of what thoughts on that merry-go-round are actually going to serve us, and what there might be some that are thoughts that we actually want to engage with that are going to help us feel more energized and not leaking. And there's others that we can just acknowledge they're there and then send them on their way. And maybe new thoughts, inspirational thoughts can start to, we'll say, replace the thoughts that drain us and make us feel contracted. And then let's go into a goalpost posture here. So we'll go into some spinal cord opening exercises. So first, we're just going to rotate, keeping the arms in goalpost here. Rotate over to the left. Come to the toe of the opposite foot so that you can get a nice rotation here, and then come back to the center, and then rotate over to the right, coming to the toes of the left foot. So as you rotate, by coming to the toes, you're able to rotate a little bit more deeply. So we're focusing this rotation with arms and goalpost more towards the upper spine, the shoulder blades, the space between the shoulder blades. And then continuing to breathe nice and slowly as well. So you can actually slow this down if that feels better, going more slowly, or if it feels better. Hello, Cynthia. If it feels better to pick up the pace just a bit, you just want to make sure that you're giving yourself adequate time to get into that rotation. And then we're going to drop the arms slightly down. So now your palms face the earth, more towards the middle of your rib cage. And we'll continue to turn from the waist. So now the focus of the rotation is more mid-back. Yeah, we'll get energy moving through all of these abdominal organs that maybe been working a little overtime the past day, or maybe even week, or maybe just the beginning of the holiday season, starting with, I don't know, Halloween. Things that are more decadent, heavier to digest. Let's get some movement and flow through these organs. And then we're going to come to a neutral stance again. So both feet on the ground, and we'll go right into knocking on the door of life. So knocking the lower abdomen, the lower back. Starting to stimulate these key pressure points for energy, for organ health, for emotional health. And then let's travel up just below the collarbone, so we're getting the first 2 points in the lung channel. So turning from the hips and the waist, arms are nice and relaxed. And then come to the very top of the shoulders. Gallbladder 21, one of my most favorite points to help quiet the mind by sending energy down, more so the frenetic, ruminating thoughts. We're sending energy down out of the head to the earth to be composted and recycled. And then down below the collarbone, we'll travel back down. And then come back down to the waist. And then from here, let's go into water waves. So now this is a more yin style of opening the spine. We're just allowing the arms to brush the space around us. So think about moving the spine very gently and then brushing away any thoughts that are on that movie reel. Maybe the part of the 90% of the thoughts that we have, the same thoughts we have every day. We're just allowing ourselves to maybe let go of them for now. creating more space in the mind, more space in our hearts. And then start to slowly unwind. And let's pause just for a moment. Tune into how you're feeling, how your energy is feeling this morning. And then let's do a little chi massage. So again, if you have anything going on the sternum area, go lightly. If you don't, go a little bit, you want to have a good amount of resistance. So if you have any injuries anywhere, maybe go a little bit more, or injured tissue, go maybe just do a little bit of light tapping. Otherwise, a little bit more tension here, starting at the top of the sternum and then working our way up and down again, or just light tapping. Chi massage is about starting to activate and stir the energy. So if the tissue is feeling good and your muscles are feeling fine, then a little bit more, I will say, I guess resistance is the best. Strength is good. Come over to the front of the right shoulder, open up the hand, and then again, tapping down the inside of the arm towards the fingertips and coming up the outside. When I tell people, explain how much power, when we're doing this, how much power people should be applying to themselves. If anyone's burped a baby, you actually have to give a little bit of strength to that in order to facilitate movement of their stomach chi. Similarly, it's like you're patting that little baby and trying to get energy to move. Gently and lovingly, but with firm pressure. Come to the right of the left shoulder and then travel down and then up the outside. So we're traveling down the inside of the arm because the yin channels run down from the shoulder down the inside towards the fingertips, and the yang channels come from the fingertips up the outside of the arm back up to the shoulder. And then come to the center of the sternum again. Let's come down to the solar plexus area between the bottom of the rib cage above the belly button. Oof, that might be a little bit on the tender side today. And then we'll make a big circle around the abdomen. I'm just going to turn around because I want to go in the right direction for you. We're going to go down the left and then come across underneath the belly button to the right, and then come up the right and then back over to the left. So you're making a big circle around the abdomen. So I might look like I'm doing it backwards for you now. Just remember, you're going to go up the right, across, down the left. Really, really good for the digestive system. You don't really want to do this on a completely full stomach, but good to do either right before you eat or about an hour or so after you have a meal. This helps to stimulate digestion and potentially even your bowels. And then let's go right below the belly button. And then let's come around to the low back. Hitting all of these, there's a bunch of acupuncture points right at the base of the spine that we use on the bladder channel and on the dew meridian to increase our energy, increase our reserves. And then let's travel down the back of the legs. So from the top of the hamstrings, down behind the knees, down the calves, all the way to the ankles. And then let's come up the inside. Inside, calves, knee, thighs. And then we'll do that 2 more times. And then once you have done 3, come up to right where the hip flexors are. And let's just pause. We'll do a few moments here. And then just place your hands. This is actually called leg gates. These points that are right at the crease here. Place your hands right over there. Maybe feel the energy circulating down the legs, down to your feet. And then let's do, I think we have time. Let's go into a wider stance. Hands on your thighs. And let's do moving the body like a river. So we're going to transfer the weight from one leg to the other. So the bottom of the body moves first. So the hips move first, and then the torso rolls over and the head arrives last. So you have an undulation of the body that is really working to move the spine laterally. So if you think, imagine that you're a little piece of seaweed in the ocean, and as the waves come, they maneuver themselves through. The seaweed starts to sway back and forth with the current, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. Breathing, so inhaling, maybe in one direction, exhaling the other. Really feel your spine rolling over to the left, rolling over to the right. And your head is just this little piece of, it's like the cherry on top, right? Just kind of floats there on top. And if you want to come a little bit more parallel to the ground, so your torso is, if you're looking more towards the earth, or you can be a little more upright. And then let's come to the center for a moment. Let's bring the palms right to the center of the chest and reconnect with our breath for a moment. So inhale, spread the arms out to the sides as you look up. And then exhale back to the center. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Let's give ourselves a moment also to feel like as we go through things like moving the body like a river, a little more activated. Right? We can feel the circulation maybe a little bit better as we start to heat up. Our breath becomes a little more rapid, but then we go into heart to the sky, heart to the earth to bring it back down. And let's do moving the body like a river one more time and play with it. So if you want to be a little more upright, you want to go a little bit more slow, if you want to make it a little bit more vigorous, make it your own. The key points here are moving first from the waist, the lower half of the body, and allowing the spine to undulate right to left. Other than that, you can go as slow as you want. You can go a little more parallel to the ground, and also make sure you breathe. And then come to the center again. Pause. Heart to the sky. Inhale and look up. Exhale to the center. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. All right, let's come to our more neutral stance. Let's just do a gentle stretch for the head, neck, and shoulders before we go into our flows. So either grabbing opposite elbows or palms together, fingers pointing down. Just make sure if you are doing this that you're not boinking your chest out. So if this is more accessible and it allows a more neutral spine, so you're not boinking your chest out, that would be better. If your shoulders are really tight. Again, drop the tailbone down, bending the knees slightly, and then let your head tilt over to the left. And then nice and slowly on the next exhale, let your head fall forward, over to the opposite shoulder, and then inhale, come up. So think about exhaling as the ear falls towards the shoulder and we roll forward, over to the opposite side, and then nice slow inhale up. So going nice and slow so you feel this nice stretch. We go more slowly, we increase the stretch. And then let's pause and go in the opposite direction. And then when you're ready, pick your head upright, let your arms drop down. And let's shake everything out. Let's do the sound for the spleen and stomach today for obvious reasons, which is the H-O-A, kind of like you're blowing your air, trying to fog up a window. So let's start bouncing the knees, letting the arms be nice and loose, shaking out the wrists and the elbows, and we'll be inhaling through the nose, and when we exhale, we'll make the sound of the earth element. So inhale, and then I'm wearing my AirPods again. This is always when the sound doesn't come through when I do sounds. So just imagine that you're blowing air on a window. Just think about as we exhale, making that sound that we're letting go of any stagnant, gray, gross energy that we have in the spleen and stomach area. And we inhale, we're inhaling this beautiful yellow healing energy into those organs. And one more. And start to slow down. Okay, so now that we've cleared and cleansed, we're going to start with a movement, a flow that's called churning the wheel. So this is about we want to get rid of stagnant energy, but what we really want is to start circulating the good energy, right? What's left, we want to contain it and circulate it. So think about now we have this purified energy inside, and we're going to work on inhaling it up the back of the spine like mist coming off a lake. And as we exhale and come forward, that turns into water, and it's more like a waterfall. So the fingers are pointing towards one another. You can see me from the side for a moment. And as we inhale, we're going to inhale the arms come, maybe the forwards, okay. Inhale the arms come up about 2 inches away from us with nice loose fists and fingers coming all the way up. And then exhale, just let the arms float forward in front of you and then back down. And as we inhale, now I'll show you from the side. So inhale, hands float up. Imagine that you're drawing energy up the spine, coming all the way to the brain. And then exhaling, we're allowing now this waterfall of energy to float and flow down the front of the spine. So circulating first, activating, raising clear energy up. And then exhale, that turns to water, and like a nice, beautiful waterfall floats back down the front of the spine. So this is working a lot with the 2 channels that they say were the first channels to develop at the stage of conception, when we have that first cellular division. The Ren channel runs down the center line in the front, and the Du meridian runs from really the pelvis up the back of the spine all the way to the head. So these 2 work together to circulate energy. The Du and meridian, also called the governing vessel and the conception vessel. So we're working on inhaling and drawing energy from the base of the spine, coming all the way up. And then exhaling, letting this beautiful, more condensed flow of energy down the front of the spine. Nice and slowly drawing energy up the back of the spine, again like a fine mist, all the way into the brain, and then exhale forward and down. Turning that water wheel. We're just helping to facilitate proper integrated movement up and down. It's good to have energy coming up, but we also need to ensure there's not too much energy happening here. We also need to ensure that we have this healthy movement back down. It's like balancing the yin and the yang. The Du, think about more yang, it's rising. It's the back of the body that's more yang compared to the front. And then the conception vessel, the Ren meridian, more yin. Inhaling up, exhaling forward and down. If you even want to imagine a ball of light, like a little pearl that's running from the sacrum up the back of the spine, to the back of the throat, to the back of the head, and then that pearl of light comes forward right behind where the pineal gland is, behind the eyes, down the front of the throat and down the front of the spine. creating this healing resonance as it starts to move up the back. And that pearl of light comes down the front. So if that's a better visual for you, whatever you are feeling more drawn to. And then on the next exhalation, let's go to our chi ball for a moment. Just connecting with our chi ball, your chi ball. And then let's take your right hand and face the sky above. Your left hand faces the earth, connecting to the universe above, the earth below. And we are in between. We are a conduit, right, of this vast, more ethereal, yang energy above and this dense, receptive yin energy below. And then we'll start to move our arms. So if you want to follow me, we're going to drop the right arm down as the left arm comes up. And then we're going to move so the hands will spiral in. So now the left hand comes down, the right hand comes up again. Expand out, coming through the center line of the body. So we're moving the arms in opposite directions. So we're windmilling as the right arm comes down, the left arm is up. We spiral in towards one another and then expand up and then out again. So we're moving in the same direction. We'll be reversing this after a few. So it's the left arm that's rising, the right arm that's descending to the sides, and then they come up and down through the central line of the body. So we're expanding, we're connecting to the space above, to the space below, but also to this center where we are, the space between the earth below, the skies above, drawing energy down from above, up from below. Inhaling, expanding. Exhale through the center. So one arm's moving from top down, the other one from bottom up. And now the next time that your left hand is coming up, let's pause. So the left hand faces the sky, the right hand faces the earth. Connecting above and below. Imagine you can draw in. There's this magnet in your palms, and you're just drawing energy in like you're plugging in to recharge your batteries. So now we'll go in the opposite direction. So now your right arm is going to come out to the side as the left arm starts to descend, come to the center, and then we'll go through the center line of the body. So now it's the right arm that's rising up and then coming through the center of the body. So inhaling and exhaling. This is really good for the brain too. It's a little like right, left, what's happening? One arm's doing one thing, the other one's doing the other. So just sometimes thinking about it makes it a little more difficult. Just think about windmilling. A windmill, the right arm comes up, left arm is down, and they move towards one another, pass like two ships passing, right? Back, no, the opposite direction. Connecting to the space above, below, integrating. And let's do one more. Now, as that right arm floats down, let's come back to our chi ball for a moment. And now let's turn so the palms are facing the earth, palms face down. Slight bend in the knees, feeling the connection of your palms to this energy below. And then let's integrate all that with one of my favorite earth element flows called Pebble in the Pond. So the palms are facing down and the tailbone's going to glide back. And as it does, the arms float out. So you're not really bending from the waist. You're just allowing the tailbone to glide back slightly. The arms float out as you do. And then inhale, the arms come around in a big circle, straightening the legs again right into the center. So as the tailbone glides back, the arms float out nice and gently. And then as we inhale, the arms come back around in a circle as we straighten back up. So just imagine floating through water, and then we're gliding, inhaling back into the center. So this is really beneficial for digestion. We're sending energy, drawing it in right into the digestive system. Exhale forward, and we're inhaling. So when I inhale, drawing in, and exhale, float out. Inhale. You can even imagine as we exhale, we start to inhale, that you're inhaling this beautiful yellow light that's coming up from the earth, directing right into the spleen, the stomach, the pancreas, charging up those organs with really good energy. Really feel, as we extend out, really feel the space between your palms and the earth, even as we're moving. Imagine that you're drawing in this condensed energy that has this really distinct magnetic quality to it. And we're just pulsing back and forth. And let's do one more. Bringing everything back into the QiGong. Drop the arms down. And then inhale the arms down around and up. Exhale, the hands float down. And inhale. And exhale. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Bring the feet closer together. One hand on the belly, below the belly button, the other hand on top. Let's make a couple of circles here, storing all of that good energy that you've just cultivated, that strength. We're storing it here. And then let's pause, just feeling our connection. We're always connected to the earth. Gravity, at least of right now, the gravity is not letting us go anywhere. So feeling that connection to the earth. And also the simultaneous lightness above, the crown of your head reaching up. And connecting to the universe above. And that we are an integrated being that is the connection between the two. We're just constantly drawing energy down from above and up from below and mixing it all together. And maybe, since we're in the season, even though the day later, of gratitude, maybe thinking of one or two things that you are exceptionally grateful for today. And when you're ready, you can crack your eyes open. Thanks you, everyone. I love the post-Thanksgiving QiGong. I feel like we all need it after. Yeah. Oh. Well, that is something to be grateful for, right? Oh, great. Well, take that with you and spread that love, which I know you all will. That's great. Yeah. It's like, especially when it's cold, it's hard. Yeah, we get, we get stiffer. Our bodies, we need a little bit more warm up time, which is we know is really good, especially if we don't want to injure ourselves. And just getting things activated, right? Even just doing this, it can be monumental. So I'm glad that you felt more flowy. Yay! This is Yeah, it's a nice gentle way of being able to achieve that. Well, I'm so happy. Thank you for joining me. It was so nice. What a little treat to see your face here today. And Carrie, thank you. And Cynthia, I'm glad you popped on. Always nice to see everyone. Have oh, you are welcome. I think it's a gift too, and I'm happy to get to share it with all of you. So you too, everyone. I hope you have a great. Oh, Willie wants to say hi. A great weekend, and and I think so. And she knows now, I think she knows my cue, so she knows when I'm done. Like as soon as I like say like, oh, you can crack your eyes open, she's like, "Oh, mom's done." It's really funny. Yeah. The animals like QiGong. They respond to energy work pretty remarkably. But all right, Carrie, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving too. Oh, you're on mute. All right, I'll see you Monday morning. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.